Hello everybody. We're here at the Schlafly Beer restaurant. Look at that awesome windmill. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? There's a little covered bridge over there. Look how beautiful this whole place is. And let me tell you where we're at. We're in a place called Historic Main Street. And by the way, this is where I live. I live just a couple miles from here. And for people who have not ever seen our channel, or maybe you know who I am, I'm Larry. Hello. And we started this channel for the Hauntworld many years ago. And we were just uploading haunted house videos, and now we're making videos just for fun and to educate. We were the kind of like the original people that were making how-to videos and selling them, and we produce magazines. We've done haunt tours for the haunted house industry, and we also build attractions all over the world and constantly traveling and seeing cool things. So I don't know, I started putting these old retro videos that we made free on Hauntworld, and we just uploaded one, like another Kevin McCurdy video. And so I'm going to start a new series. I was going to do a podcast because I want to help the haunted house industry, because honestly, I really don't know how much longer I'm going to be running haunted houses. Walk across the street here, and there is where we were, right there. And by the way, Patty's with me. She's down the street. We're gonna run into her in a minute. But I want to start doing instead of doing blogs, podcasts. And by the way, it's windy out here, so it might not sound that great sometimes. Look at that building over there. But this is an historic area, and what we're gonna start doing is vlogs. And today we're going to do a vlog about just a lot of different things, but specifically talking about trade shows and what is a trade show. And then I'm going to tell you a few things about other vlogs I'm going to do. But look how beautiful this place is right here. Like, you can sit there, eat outside. All the homes in this area are beautiful. I'm telling you that right now. Look at that house right there. That house is beautiful. And by the way, see, that's the river down there. That's a riverfront. And this is where Lewis and Clark, came when they were on their famous expedition. And one of the Lewis and Clark guys, I'm not sure which one it is buried right here in St. Louis. And one of the most famous cemeteries in the United States. It's called Bellefontaine, maybe, cemetery. And but anyway, what I wanted to do with this vlog today is, if you're in the haunted house industry and you come to Transworld Show, I'm going to start doing vlogs where I am going to help you. I'm going to share information with you, and we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I'm going to make a vlog on our TikTok page and how we create content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and so on and so forth. And because if you haven't checked out our TikTok page, we got one video with like 50 million views. It's crazy. But we grew the TikTok page from about 2,500 people following it to we're almost at 600,000, and we did it really fast. So I'm going to do a vlog about that to help you get your pages going. We'll do one about digital marketing. I'm going to do one about escape rooms. I'm going to do a vlog about how to detail your haunted house and how to get your haunted house looking awesome fast. I'm going to do another one about scares and your actors. And you know what's really cool? I'm about to make, and this is the first time I've ever done this, I'm about to make a video that it's going to show you how to work in the darkness. So it's already all completely scripted out. Look at this awesome statue. And so I'm going to talk about that video And then I'll give you guys a private link to it so you can watch it. And you'll see, I'm gonna make a video for my actors and staff and stuff like that. And it's gonna cover everything, like how to act in the haunted house, to how to handle a security situation, what the rules are. It's gonna be a really cool video that anyone who works can just watch this video. And I'm gonna make that when I get back from Vegas. And as you see here, it says the trail to Fort Osage, Eastern Trailhead, established 1808. And by the way, look at that cool house over there. You're probably wondering, why am I walking around down here? You know, one of the reasons, and we're going to talk about trade shows today, and make sure you like and subscribe to our page, because I'm going to put out a lot of great information, more behind the scenes tours. And by the way, tonight I'll be in Las Vegas, and I'll be filming 3 trade shows that will be of interest to anyone in the attraction industry. I'm going to the pizza show, I'm going to the Amusement Expo, and the bar and restaurant, bar and nightclub trade show. And I'm going to film them and see what there is to see that you might be interested in. But why am I here, and why am I going to do vlogs? And most of them are going to be around St. Louis, by the way. And you know why that is? Because I want to address an issue. Look at that tree. That is a really cool tree. And as you can see, it's spring. And I love St. Louis, by the way. And I want to clear up a few misconceptions about me. And then I also want to clear up a few misconceptions about what is a trade show and what this industry needs and what my opinions of those are. And we're going to discuss things that I think Transworld should do different going forward. On top of, we'll talk about Fear Expo, Midwest Haunters Convention, and this new Eastern State Convention. And if you're a vendor, watch this, because I'm going to give you some great information on what I think you should do or not do. And I'm definitely going to clear up my opinions on what is or isn't needed, or what I've said and haven't said, so there is no misunderstanding. And by the way, when you come down to this place, there's all these shops and restaurants, and there's a lot of antique stores. Lots of them. Look how pretty this place is. And I'll tell you why I'm here, because I want to address the very first situation that people keep saying that they want, not everyone, but some people keep saying they want the Transworld show, look at that place right there, to move to another city. And you know what's really interesting about that is when they say it, they always talk about haunt tours. And here's the problem. Number one, Transworld is a trade show. Okay? Midwest Haunters Convention is a convention. That's about haunt tours. There doesn't need to be a city museum event. There doesn't need to be a Darkness Haunted House tour. The show doesn't need to move to another city for haunt tours, because a trade show is about putting buyers and vendors together in one place at one time so that you can write orders, do business, make new contacts, get leads. It's not about haunt tours. But do you know what? When 99% of the people who talk about things like there should be different haunts to tour and things of this nature, you know what all of them have in common? They don't own an attraction. They don't own an escape room. They don't own a haunted house. Their full-time job is not working at a haunted house. When we look, and I'm not dogging on Haunters Hangout. Okay, I'm not a member of Haunters Hangout. I've never applied. Because I'll always say I'm not on Facebook that much. You would think differently, but I'm not. And normally I'm just on Facebook to make a post and then fly away. I don't scroll and read. But when we talk about a group like Haunters Hangout, and there's other groups too, like Haunters Toolbox, and I don't know what they all are. But when we talk about these groups, they dominate probably 99% of the conversation about the haunted house industry. And guess what? Not a single one of them have anything to do with the haunted house industry, other than the fact maybe they were an actor or a makeup artist, or, you know, it's a part-time job. And that is an antique store right there. The whole thing is like an antique store right here. Joy's Collective Market. I've been in there a few times. They have no skin in the game, as they would say. But majority of the people who do most of the talking are just fans of Halloween. That's what they are. They're fans of Halloween. But a trade show is not about fun. It's about putting buyers and vendors together. And I can tell you right now, vendors don't want all these people at Transworld. I can tell you that right now. They don't want 5 million people at the show coming up to them talking about how you made your own costume, you bought their mask, and here's the pictures, or how did you make this, how did you mold that. They don't want that. Transworld's supposed to be a trade show, but it's kind of a hybrid because the cost to get in is so cheap that it allows fans of Halloween to come. And that's the problem, honestly. But there's a difference between a convention and a trade show. Transworld is supposed to be a trade show, and people say one of the problems with Transworld, and there's a lot of haters I've come to find, and one of the things that they don't like about Transworld is they think it's too expensive. It's actually the cheapest trade show there is by far. And one of the reasons why it's so cheap is because it's in a city like St. Louis. Look, let me be honest, St. Louis is a second-tier city, okay? We don't have 2 baseball teams, 2 football teams, 2 hockey teams, 2 of everything, 15 arenas, okay? It's a second-tier city. It's what it is. Second-tier convention cities have to compete really hard to get conventions, okay? But let me tell you something. When you want to move the show, just as an example, you got to get the dates you want, and you also have to be able to get a space that is big enough. So most of these convention centers that you would be looking at, and if you want to keep the price down, you really have to avoid the bigger convention center cities like New Orleans, Orlando, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, New York, Miami, okay? You got to be looking at these second-tier cities. And I also firmly believe, that the show needs to stay centrally located so that people on the West Coast and the East Coast or South or North or whatever all have about the same distance to drive. And that was one of the main reasons why St. Louis was chosen, because of its location, because they had the dates, and because it was affordable. And by it being affordable, it allows for smaller vendors to thrive. It allows them to get into the game. And that has happened. Because look at Transworld. The most ridiculous comment that I've seen on Facebook this week was from a complete goof. And I hate to say that, but it's a complete goof. He says something like, Transworld has been losing vendors year over year. And, what is this guy, what is he seeing? Because that is false. The first year of the show was about 50,000 square feet. About 4,000 people came. And now it takes up damn near the whole convention center. They do reserve the whole convention center for the show. It's the whole convention center. And so when you say it's not growing, that's crazy. The Christmas show wasn't there. The escape rooms weren't there. Like this year, I saw somebody, had VR, and you had all these things, inflatables, zip lines. What person in their right mind is actually saying it's not growing? That's crazy. That is crazy, okay? But I will tell you that getting back, when I go to Vegas, I'll be going to a show called the Pizza Show. And the Pizza Show booths cost $4,000. It costs about $500 to get into that show. Transworld, I think, is about $1,500 for a booth, roughly, something like that. And it's $99 to get in. That is the most affordable place you've ever been. And then people cry about the drayage or this or that or the other. Trust me. I'm going to Vegas. My first stop will be to Walmart. I will buy a TV, because I won't fly one with me. I will get 2 4 chairs and a table, and all of that, literally buying it from Walmart. And then when the show's over, I will literally leave the show and leave it right there. And that would be cheaper than me renting the chairs and a table, just chairs and table, at the Las Vegas show. It's actually like 1/3 the price, believe it or not, because it is so expensive to do trade shows in cities in demand. Like, you know, a great city would be like Nashville, kind of centrally located. Good luck getting dates there, and the price is going to skyrocket. The hotels are going to skyrocket. It's going to go through the roof. And that's why originally, and by the way, when the show, another thing that somebody said was how terrible it was that Transworld, you know, broke away from the retail industry or whatever. Look, that was never Transworld's doing. They're not the ones who moved the show to Vegas. It was the retailers who demanded that it be moved to Vegas. They didn't want haunted houses there. They wanted them out. They actually broke away from Transworld, started their own show. And I think it was in Houston. And that's what happened. That's what happened. And I was the main person trying to start a show just for the haunted house industry. And I was explaining to people, and everyone said the same thing: it'll never work. And I said it will work if it's just an attraction show, because every theme park in the country, okay, is doing Halloween. And around the world, haunted houses are Halloween in other countries. It will work, and it will attract more buyers. It will attract new vendors, and the show will grow. And that's exactly what happened as an attraction-only show. So let me put it to rest right now. Transworld never wanted to end the retail show. Let me tell you right now. Matter of fact, I argued with them till the sun came home, because they wanted to try to save the retail show in Chicago. And I said, come on, Ruby's pulled out, everybody, it's never going to happen. Let's just jump on this ship and see what we can make of it. And you know what? It worked. It worked. And it's benefited the entire industry. It's benefited the industry, because like when you go to the show now, it's like 80% of all the booths are like, you know, people with 4 booths or less. These are a lot of new vendors. We never had mask companies, costume companies, accessories. We never had any of that stuff. Now we have all of it in so much abundance, like you can't even make a decision. Transworld Show has grown, and the people who run Transworld, they go across the country and they tour, you know, they visit other trade shows. They're going to be in Vegas next week, talking to people from the pizza show, talking to people from the amusement expo, and so on and so forth, trying to recruit new vendors and new buyers. They take booths at IAAPA. They rent out an entire theme park and host parties there. That's what real trade show people do, okay? That's what real trade show people do when they're trying to promote a trade show. And that's the difference between somebody doing it for fun or doing it as like kind of a convention style and doing it as a trade show. It is not about haunt tours. If the darkness opens or doesn't open, it doesn't matter. The show goes on. But when you have, say, Midwest Haunters Convention, and you say, well, we're going to have this convention, but there will be no haunt tours. There will be no people there. No one will care. You have to do haunt tours. It's just that simple. Look at how beautiful all this is. And you know why I'm here? Because I want to address the second issue. And the second issue is that people are saying, oh, St. Louis is unsafe. Really? St. Louis is unsafe. Look how beautiful where I'm at is right now. Pretty cool, isn't it? That's why I'm here. And when I do my vlog about how to detail your haunt, hold on a sec. Hey, Patty. Hey, I'm in the center at the gazebo. Come up to the gazebo. It's just a little past your car. Okay, I'm just standing on the street. Look for me. I'll be right here. So, yeah, look how beautiful it is here. St. Louis, I want to address this topic because it's an important one. St. Louis is actually not dangerous at all, okay? The city has problems, Oh, hold on. I'm right by the car. The city of St. Louis has problems like every city in America. The reason why St. Louis ranks so high for crime is because the city used to be part of the county and they pulled out because they wanted to control themselves. And so they used to have a population between the county and the city as one unit. It was probably around 1.7 million, and now it's only 250,000. So whereas in Detroit, there's still about 900 to 1 million people living physically in the city. In Chicago, which actually is the murder capital of the world, they had 700 murders last year and 4,000 people got shot. Their city part has about 1.7 million-ish. The whole market is over, 4 million. St. Louis market is almost 3 million. That's where it's at. But the smallest part of all of the St. Louis market is the city. And there's only 250,000 people. When you just go simply by how many murders there are, St. Louis ranked 16th in the United States. 16th. And we were below cities like Memphis, which is way smaller. And these are just facts. So St. Louis has problems, but right now, every city in America has problems. And these are just facts. So, crime is an issue wherever you go, but it doesn't matter what city you go to, there's crime. There's crime right now going on in every city in America. I'm talking about where convention centers are. There's only a handful of convention centers in America that aren't located physically in the city, like Orlando, for example, or Las Vegas. And those are the most expensive convention centers in the country. So I just wanted to address that. And this place that I'm at right here is only about 18-minute drive from the convention center. Look how beautiful it is. I wanted to address another issue that's really bothering me. And I have to call this guy out. The guy who owns Haunted Web, he says on Facebook yesterday, "Oh, Larry, stop all that. You want the show to stay in St. Louis because you make all this money with your haunt tours. Like, don't give us this BS kind of questioning. Oh, and don't give me some long response trying to justify. You know that's why you want to keep the show in St. Louis." So I want to address that because that is false. Look how beautiful these buildings are. And again, this place right here is a stone's throw from downtown St. Louis. And you can come down here and have so much fun. And there's Patty right over there. And you can have so much fun. And I'm going to go to other places. I'm going to go to the Botanical Gardens, which is ranked one of the 10th best in the country, and walk around and maybe talk about how to build better scare points for your actors. Man, we got to check these buildings out because they are badass, I'm telling you. There's a lot of great things to do in St. Louis. Let me tell you what my issue is with people bashing St. Louis. They want to spin it and say, well, no, you just want the show to stay in St. Louis because you want to make money. No, that's false. I actually told Transworld about 5 years ago, could you please move the show? Because the show is costing me tons of stress, like a lot of stress. Because doing haunt tours for the haunted house industry is stressful. Because I put so much pressure on myself to do something better than I've ever done before, because I want people to, be inspired. I want to help people. I want to show possibilities. And that is stressful, isn't it, Patty? Doing these haunt tours. Is that stressful?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And I want to tell Mr. Haunted Web and down in Memphis that I have probably spent $5 million-ish on darkness haunted house renovation since Transworld has been in St. Louis. This last, the last 4 years since COVID, we didn't open our haunt in 2020 because there was no, the shows didn't happen. In 2021, we didn't open at all, and I didn't even attend the show at all. So yeah, I made a lot of money there. In 2021, I was not going to open my haunted house. I really kind of felt guilted into not doing it because Transworld, when I didn't open in 2021, they did Six Flags, and that was a disaster. I heard all about how bad that was. I told them, like, I don't think that's going to go over very well, and it didn't. And so all these people wanted me to open. They didn't care. They didn't, you know. And it was 5 days before the Transworld show of 2022 that we said, okay, we'll do a behind-the-scenes tour for 250 people. It was one night only, 250 people. And then this year we announced 7 days before Transworld, and I think we took 300 people. And check this out. Look how beautiful these buildings are. And check this out. This is really cool. Look at that. Now see, that's authentic right there. That's a real, you know, door down into the cellar kind of thing. Look how cool this building is. And it's on the National Registry of Historic Places. Isn't that cool? Patty, you like this place, don't you?
I love this place. You should come out on Monday though, because half the places are closed.
Yeah, half the restaurants are closed, yeah.
Not just restaurants, the stores too. Like that monster place that does design work, they're closed. That would have been a cool place to walk in.
And by the way, all the way at the end of the street, there's a rock climbing place. And towards the end, there's also an escape room down there. There's a lot of restaurants, lots of places to see, lots of things to do. And this is just one of many places in St. Louis that are just like this. My problem with everybody bashing St. Louis and talking about crime and whatnot, it's not that I care one bit if the show leaves St. Louis. I don't care. Penny, how many times have I said, don't care if the show leaves St. Louis?
You've said it many times.
Many times. And did I actually tell Transworld?
You would actually have more fun at Transworld.
Yeah. Did I actually tell Transworld that please move it? Please move it.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, yes, I have. I've told them. Okay. In fact, we were at a dinner and I told them to move it.
But they're well aware that you don't care.
Yeah, they're well aware I don't care. So we're just putting that to bed once and for all. And look at that old post office. That's really cool.
Oh, I have to mail something.
There you go. And then look at that building over there. Isn't that cool? So, yes, Transworld's well aware that I don't care. But it's really funny to hear people say, I do care. I don't care. And I don't make any money from haunt tours. And then I'll tell people how much I spent, and then they'll say something stupid, in my opinion, like, well, you would have done all that anyway. No, I wouldn't have. So you're talking about taking, like, the haunted house that probably has more props than any haunted house in the country, and I need to put $300,000 more into it? Like, that's a stupidity. See, it's like a disease. I need an intervention, actually.
Look, you can see what this place looked like.
Yeah, look at this.
Back in 1849.
Check this out. This is another historic place, and it is cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Look at the, what is that called, patina? Is that what that's
Yeah.
called? Look at the patina. Show
Yeah,
'em.
and marble. That's real marble.
Patina is cooler to me. Marble, you
Yeah,
get
the
anytime.
patina's amazing.
You have to get it with the sun behind you. No?
Yeah. Yeah, the patina is really cool. The whole place is cool. And by the way, St. Louis is cool. My issue with defending St. Louis is that I want the vendors to thrive. I want the show to be affordable for new vendors. I want the show to be accessible to all people in the United States. And what city is more centrally located in St. Louis? Well, none. I guess maybe you could say Indianapolis is not too bad. You could say...
Well, and another point is that if you want the show to be affordable, then you know, a lot of people say it should be a traveling show, and then it can go to different cities. But actually, you know, not just Transworld, but groups like Transworld for every industry get better deals if they can book lump
multiple years. Look
yeah.
at IAPA. They never move. The amusement expo, which I'm going to, never moves. Okay, real trade shows typically never move. Okay, they plant roots, and so people can make plans, and they know when the show's going to happen, and they know where they're going, and it's very. That's the thing. But getting back to like when all these people talk about haunt tours, well, again, they have almost all of them have something in common. They do not own attractions. They shouldn't even be at the show. They should be at Midwest Haunters Convention. Okay? And so I'm gonna say, and let you know right now, I spent about $300,000-ish for the Darkness Haunted House tour. We sold $47,000 in tickets. If I wouldn't have done that tour, I would not have spent that much money. I don't need to. The haunted house is already great the way it is. But I feel an obligation and a pressure to put on the best possible show that I can. And boy, is it windy. And that is like a disease to me, is it not, Patty? How much time do I spend down there?
Yeah, well, I mean...
Sometimes I get home at 5 in the morning, right?
It's not like you need the stress.
No, we don't need the stress. And let me just like back up what I'm saying here. We're opening the Darkness this year for the fewest days ever. My mental health and physical well-being means more to me now than opening every night like I used to at the Darkness or doing haunt tours at Transworld. If you wanted to make the most money, you would open the Lemp. You would try to open Creepy World. I could sell 1,000 tickets to that probably in 15 minutes for $100 a ticket and really make money. But did I do it? No. Did I open Lemp this year? Did I open the Darkness with actors? No. I can tell you over the last 4 years, if I would have been selling tickets to everything, probably left $250,000. Maybe I could have made $250,000, $300,000 or whatever. I didn't do it because it's not about the money. For me, the haunt tours have always been about the community. They've always been about trying to inspire haunts to show them that what's possible. I think the Darkness Haunt Tour has helped the haunted house industry. And by the way, I could have bought a fleet, Patty, of Lamborghinis. I always put everything in terms of Lamborghinis. I could have bought a fleet of them. And yes, I would have spent money on my haunted house, but probably 1/4 as much as I did if it wasn't for a haunt tour. That's why I told Transworld, this is a disease. I need you to help me out here. And I really would prefer not to do these haunt tours anymore. So I just wanted to clear that up. One last thing I wanted to talk about is Fear Expo, Midwest Haunters Convention, Eastern Haunters Convention. People say that I am negative or that I have been negative or that I think that these things shouldn't exist. False. I do think they should exist. But this industry does not need a second trade show. There's a difference between a trade show. Trade shows don't need haunt tours. They need vendors and buyers. They need to spend all their time together. And Transworld really needs to raise the price of this show to $300 to get in, which will weed out a lot of the people who should be going to Fear Expo or the people who should be going to MHC. My suggestion for Fear Expo: make your event about haunt tours and experiences. That's my suggestion for MHC and EHC as well. What I don't want, and I've been a big advocate against, is I don't want Transworld or anybody trying to dilute down the fact that this industry can't afford 2 trade shows or be asked to go all over the country to try to connect with buyers. And by the way, I just want to say, because I talked to a vendor yesterday, most of these vendors are selling out before Transworld even happens. They get into Transworld and you're talking to people and they're saying, well, we can't sell, well, we're kind of, yeah, because vendors and buyers already know who they are. I buy from like the same 6 or 7 vendors every single year, just FYI, okay? We don't need any help being connected. Trade shows for the haunted house industry or I should say a second one, is not needed, will never be needed. And if that's the focus of what you're doing, it will never work. What haunt owners want is to see new haunts. They want to tour haunts. They want to go to haunts. They want to see things that they normally can't see because they're running their haunted house. Events like Midwest Haunters Convention has always been about haunt tours. And if they stop doing haunt tours, the show will cease to exist. Mark my words. And they have more attendance than Fear Expo, or we don't know what the EHC is going to do. And it's all about haunt tours. Everything's about haunt tours. And look at this right here on Main Street, escape room. They're a competitor. We can't promote that. Shh, don't tell anybody that there's an escape room down here. But anyway, I just wanted to clear that up once and for all. That what I believe is that MHC is very important because it gives an opportunity for actors, enthusiasts, and haunt owners to go and have fun and make it all about haunt tours and events. And that's what those shows should be. Transworld should not be putting pressure, nor should Fear Expo or anyone else, on trying to create a second show, especially one that's like a couple weeks after Transworld. Like, that is not a smart move. And so at the end of the day, vendors, you should be at Transworld. You should go all in every year. You should bring everything you've got, because that is what people want. They want to go one place, one time, that's it, see everything, buy it, and go on their merry way. And that's what they want to do. And that's what happened. And that's what keeps happening. And that's what will happen forever. Any new shows that happen need to be more of the ilk of the HauntCon, where you travel from city to city to city and you make it all about haunt tours and experiences with a trade show floor, a small one, nothing overly over the top, education, seminars. These events are needed. A second trade show, not needed. Do I care if Fear Expo or MHC or any of these other things are successful? No, I want them to be successful, and I'm happy they exist. But don't think for a second that this industry wants a second trade show. It does not. Most of the vendors know who the buyers are at this point. We don't need a third party, a second third party, trying to create an event to put these two together, because it's not needed. Right now, vendors are going on social media and they're promoting new products year round. We know who the vendors are. But we like going to Transworld, and we like to walk the show floor. And you know, the biggest thing we're hoping for is to see something we have not seen before. We want to touch stuff, we want to feel it. And you know, the biggest thing that people need to take away from going to Transworld is sitting in those hotel lobbies and talking to other owners about, how did you start an escape room? How are you making more money? Are you selling alcohol? This is the focus of a trade show. So many people have made new businesses from just sitting at that show talking to people about new opportunities. Would you not agree, Patty?
Yeah, that's probably the best
It is
part.
not about haunt tours. You don't move a trade show so you can tour a haunt. You're not going to do it today, not going to do it tomorrow, not going to do it ever. A trade show should be about making more money, doing business, writing orders. And by the way, that's where that's a really cool place right there. It's a rock climbing place. And look at this train over here. So do low tomorrow, not doing you tomorrow today. You're not doing tomorrow today. And hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because the next vlog I do probably going to be, but leave a comment and tell me what you would like me to talk about. How we detail the haunt, how we change the haunt to like run off of less actors, whatever. We'll talk about it. We'll make a video, and I'm going to walk around different parts of St. Louis to show you some of the cool places you can visit when you're here. And if Transworld moves, and won't bother me one bit, I hope it goes to a central located city where with the dates they need, and the prices to keep the vendors engaged and buying more booths. That's what we want. And as buyers, we want to see that. And Transworld totally needs to reorganize the trade show floor and put like costumes, accessories, masks, makeup, all together. Animations, props together, high-tech stuff, escape rooms together, just like the Christmas part. But anyway, there's my rant for today. I hope you liked the video. Yeah, I saw the train. So say goodbye, Patty.
Goodbye, Patty.
And we are just having a ball. And you could come right here. And there's a casino over there as well. And there's another restaurant place across from here, like $1 billion development. But St. Louis is a nice place. It really is. It has its problems like every place in America right now. But we're going to keep vlogging and trying to educate haunted houses. Until then, from historic Main Street, happy Halloween, everybody.